Well, well, well. So this is not going to be a long stream. It's super short. We're just going to speak about people that are getting their faces ate by leopards. All right. Um, People who don't appreciate what race is in America. People that don't appreciate hierarchy and class. People who think they're in the in group and they're not. People who think they're white. Ooh, Z, no, Z, don't do it, Z. People who think they're white and they're not. I mean, they're white. They're kind of white. They're sort of white, but they're not white white. People who don't understand what white people mean by white. If you're not WASP in America, you're not actually white white. Like you might be really close to white. You might actually be white, but you're not white white. To all the Latinos in South Florida who still don't get it yet. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat on the way in. Huh? So if y'all checked out the links, especially the one with Abba and Preach speaking about what's going on around the country, definitely in South Florida. In South Florida, you have a number of different Latino groups, whether it's Venezuelans, Colombians, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, definitely the Cubans, who think they are part of the in crowd. They think they're part of the in group. And what they don't appreciate is you might be white Latino, you might be mestizo, and yet people still call you white, but you're not white. These folks come here from Venezuela, from Cuba, etc., etc. White society turns a blind eye to them and let them run roughshod over South Florida, definitely Dade County. And then they think they're in, huh? They think they're in. What you saw from what Abba and Preach covered was a whole lot of these folks were Trump supporters. Now they couldn't vote for Trump. I think Abba said vote, but no, these people didn't vote for Trump. They couldn't vote. They were not citizens. But them and their families were supporters of Trump because they don't appreciate the difference between white in Latin America and white in the USA, the United States of America. See, back home, you're white. Back home, you're a tier down from white, but people still treat you like you white. But in America, oh, in America, you're not white. Huh? There's no classing yourself into whiteness in America. It's one drop rule, point blank, period. Now, of course, the one drop rule mainly and almost exclusively, almost applies to black people. But if we shake your family tree for all of you mestizos, if one or two indigenous folks fall out, then guess what? You're not white. Uh-oh. If one or two Negroes fall out, guess what? You're not white. Keep thinking that it's about policy and I like the way he speaks and I like his policies and I like his tough on crime and I like that he's no nonsense and I like a strong man. Well, you're getting one right now. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? So a lot of Latinos who think they're in, you're not in. You're not in. Huh? This is not a time to necessarily make fun of them or mock them, but yes. Oh, I forgot. It's not that. It's that the socialist or the Marxist took over your home country and you came to America, and anything that even smelled just a smidge further left than center right. Yes, it makes sense. Listen slow. Anything that's more left than center right, starts to make your skin crawl. You start to question it, huh? Because you're so horrified. I don't want America to turn into Venezuela. I don't want America to turn into Cuba. And now what? Huh? And now what? Did y'all forget about Trump's first term in the Muslim ban? Uh-oh. Did y'all forget how many times he tried to push that through and he finally got the wording correct, or his people got the wording correct and they finally went through? Ooh. Huh? It's a whole lot of people. You said it was some government workers, federal government workers that voted for Trump or that were Trump supporters, and they messed around and found out, and now they're fired. Or, sorry, correct term, let go. Huh? Terrell said, now is the perfect time for mockery. Terrell said, now Z, take the gloves off. Huh? Mr. Z grew up around these people. Mr. Z grew up with their children. Mr. Z grew up with their grandchildren. Mr. Z went to school with these folks. Huh? You ain't seen a coon until you see a Latino coon. I'm telling y'all. You think black people be cooning. You think tethers be cooning. You ain't seen a coon until you see the Latino coon, skinning and grinning. Huh? Especially when the waspy whites walk around. Oh, you ain't seen a more smiling ass person until you see the cooning ass Latino. Z, that don't even make any sense. I ain't know Latinos could coon. You ain't seen it yet? Huh? The Mexicans that's down here in South Florida, boy, you ain't seen a more cooning ass, smiling ass person around white folks until you met one of these people. Huh? See, Biden played with y'all. Clinton played with y'all. Obama played with y'all. Huh? Bush Sr. played with y'all. Not Trump in this second administration. Uh-oh. Huh? So y'all didn't get the memo? Oh, I forgot. See, when JD Vance said that thing about the Haitians eating the dogs, you didn't appreciate that he was calling you SPIC. You didn't appreciate what he was calling you, or is it SPIK? You didn't appreciate what he was saying to you. You thought that was just for black immigrants. Oh, you didn't think he was talking to you. Oh, so you thought what you thought? Oops. Huh? What's fascinating about Trump is he's going to let everybody see what it really is, what America really is. As BGS said, y'all don't know America, y'all about to find out. Huh? And I agree with BGS. For those of us that are students of history, we appreciate this. Huh? For everyone else, especially if you just got to America between the 1970s and now, you don't really appreciate the America definitely pre 1975. You really don't get it. For all of us students of history, definitely for those of you who lived through it, some of our boomers in this space, everybody else, uh-oh, you better buckle up. Huh? The question is what you thought. What did you think? Mr. Z could have said this and posed this question in a proper fashion. What did you think? No, what you thought. What you thought. dear Venezuelans, dear Mexicans, huh? Dear anyone who don't have all their paperwork perfect, and you were supporters of Trump, and your family members who are citizens and your friends who are citizens voted for Trump, and you were with them, and you were enthusiastic, and you were happy, and here we are, huh? And here we are. Oh boy. Oh, it ain't looking good, huh? Mr. Z speaks about the internet exposing us all. Many of these stories, even if they were on local news, we're starting to see them because of the internet. And you're seeing the news segments. Shout out to Alvin Preach, where the people like, oh no, I don't think my husband should get caught up in this because he owns a business and he employs 20 people. What does your husband employing 20 people and owning a small business mean to an economy that's over what, 22, 23 trillion dollars? What does your husband and his speck of a business mean to that? And by the way, man, Mr. Z does not mean to mock your husband's business, but what does your husband business mean? A GDP of what, 20 some odd trillion dollars? 23-ish, 24-ish, something like that? Oh boy. Huh? The US has multiple companies with market caps of $1 trillion+. You think your husband, what, he earned his whiteness by opening up a business that employs 20 people? What? Y'all do not appreciate America. You didn't study America. See, you thought you studied America by kissing white ass. You didn't study America. You don't really get it, because if you did, you would understand that you're not white, and you would have voted either for Kamala, or you would have stayed home, or you would have voted down ballot. You would have did something other than voting for Trump, especially after he told you he was going to do this. Oh, wait, you thought when he said illegals, he didn't mean you, as if when he said illegals, what he really meant was not white and documented. Ooh, goddamn, so you said that out loud. Where are all the white undocumented Canadians that are getting roped up? Ooh, where's the videos of them? Ah, I don't see them getting roped up. Ooh, huh? The people that overstayed their welcome and they're white from the UK and from Canada. Where are the videos of them getting roped up and embarrassed? Do you understand now? Huh? You thought that because your husband owned a restaurant that employs 20 people, he shouldn't get roped up in this. And y'all were Trump supporters. Oh, huh? Oh, Longo says, all Australians, there's a number of undocumented, well, not undocumented, but there's a number of Australians that overstayed their visas, overstayed their welcome. Where's the videos of them getting roped up? Huh? Uh-oh. Cheryl says, where are the Eastern European male or brides getting roped up? Ah, Adric, that is hysterical. Adric said, not spick and span. Oh, that's his. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh, that's messed up. It's funny. Oh, it's funny. It's funny. Funny is funny. That's funny. That's messed up, but it's funny. Huh? Adric said, not spick and span. Oh, and you know, Trump comes from the era where they look down on Puerto Ricans. Trump comes from that era where Puerto Ricans are like, ew, Puerto Rican, ew. Huh? That didn't start changing until Lucille Ball and them. That's when that started to change because of the TV show. Y'all forgot what era Trump come from? Why else do you think he was throwing goddamn paper towels at the Puerto Ricans? Disrespectfully. Uh-oh. Shout out to all you who never put two and two together. Y'all forgot how old Trump is. I know Biden was older. Y'all forgot how old Trump is. He come from the era where you look down and you mock and you make fun of Latinos. He come from the era, or at least he was born and raised much of his life in the era where Cuba was the playground. Definitely being raised by his father, Cuba was the playground for the uber wealthy in America. Huh? Uh-oh. Ah, y'all don't appreciate America. You think that you're back home in your home country where you could merit your way into whiteness. Black people keep on telling y'all. I recall a video way back. Ebro, yes, Ebro from Hot 97 spoke. He was like, yo, we try to tell y'all, all you immigrants, all you non-white folks, we try to tell y'all when y'all get here what America, and I'm paraphrasing, what America is, y'all don't be listening. Here's Z, maybe a decade later, years and years and years later, saying the same thing. Black people try to tell y'all, y'all mock us because y'all mock the black people back in your home country. You think you're white, or you think you can merit yourself into whiteness. You can't merit yourself into whiteness in America. You could pull that in Latin America. You can't pull that in America. It does not work in America. Huh? So Bentley says Cuba was Vegas before Vegas. Exactly. Huh? And here you are getting deported or watching your husband or your wife. It was one guy, they just roped up his wife. They just roped his wife up. He ain't seen her since. No talk, no call, no nothing. Jesus. No anything. And now you hear of Trump and his folks putting people on planes, putting the middle finger to judges that are saying, turn that plane around. They're like, screw that. The plane's already landed. And those people are in the torture camp prison that we sent them to because we can. Ooh. They wanted to show some deterrence. They wanted to deter people from coming to America or attempting to come to America, and I think they got their message across. Huh? Mr. Z lives in South Florida, everyone. You ain't seen on anti-black racists until you see these Latino white ass kissers. You ain't see maybe some South Asians and East Asians. We looking at them South Asians, them Indians is definitely giving the Latinos here in South Florida a run for their money. I see y'all South Asians. I see y'all Indians. I see y'all. I see y'all. I see the Vivex types. I see them. The Nikki Haley types. Huh? I see them. The Cash Patel types. Yeah, I see them. In South Florida, we don't have South Asians like that. We have a few, but not many. In South Florida, the tap dancing, oh, the Latinos got that on lock. Ooh, do they? Especially the Cubans. You ain't seen tap dancing and white ass kissing and condescending to black people and racist towards black people until you see one of these goddamn Cubans. You would have thought there was a redneck from Alabama. You ain't seen anti-black until you see one of these goddamn Cubans in South Florida. But like, who died and made you the redneck? Goddamn. Huh? Ooh. And Trump said, thank you for kissing my ass. Thank you for the vote, but I'll be deporting your wife now. Ooh, goddamn. Huh? Thank you. Thank you, Michael Ross. It's the Marco Rubio Cubans. Huh? Dude got called Little Marco by Trump's first election, and now he's part of Trump's second term. Ooh. Over here going to war with Elon Musk in front of Trump. Trump took his side, though. Trump took his side. I hear you. Huh? Oh, boy. Huh? I saw you. You were the only one because you're from South Florida and you got a bit of a conscience. A bit. A teeny tiny bit. Yeah, I see Marco Rubio is the only one that was looking like he was a little hot under the collar when Trump was checking his cabinet secretaries and saying, by the way, yeah, I am vesting power into Elon. The video with Elon standing at the head of the table and everybody sitting down, and Trump said, essentially, if anybody got a problem with it, get out. Huh? Marco Rubio was the only one that really looked like he was hot under the collar. Yeah. You know where you from. You know how you were raised. You know what it is. Marco Rubio. Mr. Rubio, you signed up for this, so you better eat all of it. You could have told Trump, no, I know you're not supposed to tell the president no. Mr. Z knows. Welp, you signed up for it. Put on your big boy pants. Huh? Uh-oh. Lithium says little 5'10" Marco versus 6'3" Trump. Yeah, that wasn't the only reason. He called him that because he was wearing like them Chelsea boot type joints, if I'm not mistaken. You know, we in South Florida. You know, South Florida, we got the Rico Suave thing going on. And for many of us, yeah, we got the hood stuff. Yeah, you know, different styles. And Marco Rubio being, you know, Latino background, he had I think they were Chelsea boot style boots. But yeah, so it was like, ew, like, you know, when you are not from like a major city, or when you're like one of those tough as nails, man, and I don't care about clothes or fashion, and yeah, so someone like a Marco Rubio and him dressing, you know, down or dressing with these kind of fashionable boots, yeah, you're gonna mock him. You don't get it. It seems girly to you, and you know, there's something in America, especially for the men's men. We don't care about fashion, so yeah, so I get it, right? I get it. So yeah, that's another reason why he called him a little Marco, right? Huh. So yeah, and in South Florida, it's a different type of style. Yes, we have the Kodak Blacks in South Florida. Of course, we got the Kodak Blacks. We have the XX Tentaciones, rest in peace style cats down here. Definitely, definitely. We have the brothers that still dressing like Trick Daddy, right? Clearly. Um that exists down here in South Florida. Yes, it still does. Yes. To answer your question, yes. And with that, we have the Jason Derulo types. Huh? The more Rico Suave style black folks, whether ADOS, but mainly more Caribbean, Jamaicans, Haitians. You ain't seen skinny jeans when skinny jeans was in style. You ain't seen skinny jeans until you see Jamaicans wearing skinny jeans. You ain't seen skinny jeans yet, right? So Marco Rubio comes from that, right? He comes from that. And so, of course, Trump was going to mock that and make fun of that. Huh? And with that, you're watching Trump do what he said he was going to do. Shout out to Abin Preach. Exactly. He's doing what he said he was going to do. And you're watching folks that are getting roped up in it be like, wait, I didn't think it was going to affect me. And there you go. Leopards eating faces, everyone. Leopards eating faces. Leopards eating faces. What you thought? What did you think? The man told you who he was. He showed you who he was first term. He came back for Act 2, and y'all supported him enthusiastically. Huh? He told you who he was. Huh? Watching people get roped up, or watching people's family members get roped up after they voted for Trump. And as Abba and Preach said, you know, Biden helped to push this TPS thing, and you're watching people who Biden essentially allowed to be in the country stick their middle fingers up at Biden and the Democrats. Yeah, y'all know Mr. Z is on the left. Mr. Z don't claim on top of Democrats. As a matter of fact, I gotta get my voter ID card changed, which I know I'm on the left. Ain't nothing funnier and sadder in the world than watching folks who benefited from essentially what would be a leftist policy, quote unquote, more open borders or easier access to America. And then their spouse voted for the person who said, yeah, I'm going to burn all of that to the ground. Enthusiastically, mind you. Huh? Yeah, I remember that. And Detroit says Tom Homan said the families can go too. Yep. When he was pressed, I remember that. Uh-oh. That was what, a couple months ago. If even 2 months ago. It wasn't even 2 months ago, was it? It wasn't even 2 months. Was it even a month ago? Yeah, I remember that. Uh-oh. Somewhere within a month or two. Yikes. Once again, what you thought? Huh? What you thought? Huh? You got Lutnick talking about essentially if my mother-in-law missed a social security payment, she would just think there's something wrong with the system. This dude's a whole billionaire or almost a billionaire. Yikes. Telling the senior citizens that rely on their social security, tough it out. Uh-oh. Yikes. They're slashing the education department. They're slashing everything. And you're watching people who supported them, supported Trump, if not voted for Trump, be like, oh, wait, not me. Wait, oh, God. And this is why, shout out to Cheska Lee, lepers eating faces. Huh? Huh? Brother, how do you pronounce that first name? And I'm thinking it's a brother. And the comment is South Florida overtly racist and hostile towards black people? I work in healthcare. Yeah, spell it out for me phenotypically. Is South Florida overtly racist and hostile towards black people? I work in healthcare and I meet many women from Miami. Common complaint is Miami is very hostile. Yeah. Depending on where you are, like that the black diasporans that live in South Florida, they they have a tenuous relationship, right? Their kids marry each other, the kids have sex with each other, the kids chill with each other, the kids so right. So like it's the cultural differences are the main things that's keeping the black diasporans in South Florida apart, if there's any apart. But for the most part, it's not. It is and it's not simultaneously black ADOS over here, Haitians over there, Jamaicans over here. Yes and no. Yes and no. The further you get out of Dade County, the more it's not like that per se. Um, but when you're dealing with the Latinos and other non-black folks, they do have a certain disdain, it would seem, for ADOS in specific, but that disdain does extend to non-ADOS black folks. A bit less so, though. Just a smidge less so, right? So the hostility, yeah, it's there, right? It's there. You will go to certain parts of Miami and like, or you'll go to certain stores. Mr. Z remembers going to a Publix in South Miami, and the entire deli did not speak English. They had to like bring somebody in to speak to Z, or move somebody around to speak to Z just to get a damn sandwich, just to get a sub, just to order a sub. This was at a major grocery store, everyone. This wasn't some hole in the wall deli. Huh? And these folks are allowed to live like this, not knowing a word of English for not just months, screw that, not just years, decades. Now, I dare you to find the Haitians that move like that in South Florida, that are allowed to not learn English, not for months, not for years, but maybe a decade or two. Huh? Uh-oh. What's going on in South Florida? These people that get roped up, right? And Mr. Z does not wish ill will on the folks, especially, you know, your wife goes to work and you don't hear from her, and you call her during lunch break and you don't hear from her, and then she doesn't come home, and then one of her co-workers finally gets in contact with you. Such and such, Maria got caught up, and such and such, they picked her up, and then Mr. Z is not wishing that on anyone. With that, but you voted for Trump, though. Ooh, goddamn. You voted for Trump and she supported you in your vote. Ouch. Huh? Ah, it ain't looking good, everyone. It's not looking good. With that, y'all were Trump supporters, and now your husband got roped up, and they don't care. They do not care. For all we know, your husband could be in that damn El Salvadorian torture prison. For all we know. As Mr. Z said this morning, with Anton playing a dangerous game, let Z say this. A lot of folks are playing a dangerous game with their own future. Y'all don't appreciate race in America. You don't understand politics in America. You don't understand any of it. You just came here as a refugee, and you hope to make money and send money back home and do right by your people. Okay, fine. And you're anti-black as crap. Uh-oh. And you don't appreciate not too much culturally shakes in America without black people. Huh? And yeah, is the Cuban community not lobbying for their fellow Latinos? No, not really. No, not really. No. Huh. We'll see how this turns out. It ain't looking good though. No. Vegas is that El Salvadoria, El Salvador prison. That El Salvador prison is hell on earth. Yeah, so I've heard. I'm gonna try to like see if I can find a documentary on it and whatnot, and see how far we can get into it. Yeah. Yep. 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 It ain't looking good, everyone. It's not. Right? You have Donald Trump telling you who he is. He told you who he is. He showed you who he is. Well, J. Vance showed you who he is. He came in the door practically holding Peter Thiel's member in his hand. Ooh, goddamn Z. And folks are still surprised by what's going on in front of their face. Huh? Oh, it ain't looking good. So with that, everyone, I said this wasn't gonna be a long stream. I just want to rant that out real quick. Right? It's getting late. Here on the East Coast. Um, as I said, look, it ain't looking good. This was not smart. Huh. I have an open panel on Saturdays and Sundays, so you're definitely welcome to come. Mr. Z got things to do like sleep. Um, Shout out to all my day ones who know Mr. Z got a sleeping problem, but Mr. Z is feeling it right now. So, and it doesn't make it better that Mr. Z had a little swig of something earlier. Um, with that, I wanted to rant this out. Um, Shout out to Abba and Preach. I don't necessarily want to mock these people. Shout out to Trell, right? With that, what you thought? What you thought? Why did you think you were exceptions to the rule, or why did you think it didn't apply to you? Huh? Why did you think that Trump was not talking about you? My question is, do people in America that are not white realize when white people are saying this is mine? I run this. This belongs to me? Because clearly there's a number of Asians that don't get it. There's Latinas that don't get it. Latinos and Latinas that don't get it. There are black folks, both ADOS and non-ADOS, that don't get it. Do people not appreciate when white folks are saying, "Oh yeah, I'm waving the flag," whether it's the Confederate flag, whether it's the SS flag? Oops, huh? Do people not appreciate when white folks are saying, "I'm white and I say so"? Not in those words, but essentially, "I'm white and I say so." Why do all these people think it doesn't apply to them, or they're exceptions to the rules, or their group is the exception? Thank you. And Earth says they operate off of non-black instead of non-white. See? See, when you're only focused on the fact that you're not black, then you miss the forest through the trees. You miss it. You miss, see, what you get correct is that you're not black, and so maybe you won't be hit with everything that comes with white supremacy. What you miss, though, is you're not white, and so you go and occasionally get chipped too. What Kendrick said, chipped by my throwaway line. Yeah, you might get chipped too, huh? You might get sideswiped too, and that sideswipe might mean that your husband is no longer in America. Oops, huh? And Trump is moving fast, everyone. Trump is moving dumb fast. The laws could barely keep up. Trump is moving fast. Why? Because the tech guys, what's their mantra? People that know, Trell know, what is it? Move fast and break things. Isn't that their mantra? Move fast and break things. Oops. What happens when you say move fast and break things and now you're uh uh not the head of a government department, but the advisor to the president. And you grew up on move fast and break things. What happens then? Atrix said, thank you for the super chat. Atrix said, me no speaker English. English. No, for real though. That's really what they say. It's funny you said that, but no, for real though, that's what they say. Ah, ah, sad state of affairs we're in when white folks don't realize that they're white. What is Mr. Z saying? Sad state of affairs that we're in. No, white folks definitely realize that they're white. Mr. Z don't know what he just said. When non-black folks who are also not white don't realize that they're not white. There you go. Mr. Z said it the right way. When people of color who are not black, there we go. Non-black POC, as my leftists like to say, non-black POC. When non-black POC, for those of you that don't know, POC means people of color. When non-black POC don't realize that, yeah, you not black, so you may not get hit with all of this, but you ain't white either. Uh-oh. So you're gonna get chipped every once in a while. Every once in a while you're gonna get sideswiped. Every once in a while you're gonna get hit. Huh? Thank you, Mr. DJ. Mr. DJ says hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat. Let's see what that like ratio look like right now. Boy, y'all wildin'. Mr. Z got 51 watching and we got 32 likes. Is it that difficult? Everyone. Look, nobody really streaming right now. It's just Z ranting. Huh? And the brother says San Antonio has the same mentality. I hate that. Yeah, I saw that a number of Vietnamese voted. I think the most conservative East Asian voting bloc was the Vietnamese. If I'm not mistaken, right? The most conservative voting bloc is the of Asians at least were the Vietnamese. And I get it, especially if your family members lived through the Vietnam War and they were anti-Viet Cong, and yeah, I get it. I get it. But do you appreciate the dynamics of American politics? Oh no, I didn't hear about Radical Latino. What happened with him? And Detroit says Z, don't you hear about Radical Latino? Or did I think you meant to say, didn't you hear from about Radical Latino? No, I didn't. What happened? Vince says exactly, Vince. Vince already got it. He just got here. And Vince says, what we talking about? Trump voters being mad that he being who he knew he was. I got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got you. I got you. Is it still up? Did I delete it? Ah, I think I might have deleted it. Give me a second. Let me see something.
Damn, son, where?
No, that's not the one. That's not the one. Wait a minute.
Main.
Nope, that's not it. God damn, did I delete it? I did. God damn it, I deleted it. I got you. I got you. Don't worry, Vince. I got you. Don't worry about it. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I think this is the one. I got you in a minute, Vince. I got you in a minute. Don't worry about it. We're gonna leave your comment up for a second too. Huh? Vince has too many buttons. I know, for real though. For real, I got you. Here you go, Vince.
They are who we thought they were.
Huh? Let's put the comment back up. Let's put the comment back up. Wait a minute. Let me see. And Vince said, what we talking about? Trump voters being mad that him being, I think you meant to say him being who we knew he was. And here you go.
They are who we thought they were.
Exactly. There you go. Right. And that's really what it is. Wait a minute. The black folks, the folks that's supposed to have low IQ, no culture, right? That's supposed to be slow. That's supposed to be Neanderthals, even though if you sub-Saharan African, unfortunately for all of us that got probably some um colonizer ancestry swimming in our blood, unfortunately, this doesn't apply to us fully. But for all the African brothers that's from sub-Saharan Africa, they're like the only people that don't have Neanderthal DNA in them. So shout out to all the folks that like to say Neanderthals concerning black people. I mean, no, but good insult. But no, you're more likely to have more of that than black people are. Just say. Like facts. Just say it. Uh-oh. Huh? Ah. Huh? Vincent effed around and picked the greater of two evils. Ah. Don't hurt their feelings. Don't hurt their feelings. Right? Ah. Adric sister no to Adric sister passport OG no Vaseline pause. Hysterical. And yeah, no, they getting it. They're really getting it no Vaseline. Right up the rectum. Oh man. Jesus. What did these people think? He said who he was. If you had any doubt, you definitely saw it from 2016 to 2020. If you still had doubt, you saw it with him campaigning the second time around. And then the third time around. Oh, goddamn. Why did, first off, the dude did the Muslim ban everyone. Jesus Christ. What did people forget? Did y'all forget that the pilots were in the middle of the air and they were like, so what are we supposed to do? Wait, am I supposed to, you make a U-turn back to the airport? Going back from the country I just left? Oh, but I'm too close to the US, I'm gonna land. But then what are what are the people supposed to do? Uh-oh. First, that's the power of the president. White president. Anyway, that's the power of white presidency. Oops. Secondly, if he was able to do that, and what that was 2017, why do you think that he changed and it's not going to apply to you? Huh? I think what's the small hat one that be with Ebro again? His last name is right there too. He said this back with Donald Sterling in the Clippers incident. He said, "Yeah, we have a Donald over here in the Northeast or New York. I think he either said New York or the Northeast, and he's just as bad." Who was he talking about? He was talking about Trump. Huh? He was talking about Trump. I got you, Vince. Give me a second. I'm trying to look this. Huh? Man. Oof. Well, on that note, everyone, like I said, I'm not going to stream too long. Mr. Z got things to do like sleep. So we'll pause right here. I just want to get this rant off. Once again, thank you for the super chat, Adric. Thank you for the super chat. He said, "Me no speaker English." No, Mr. Z, definitely. I'm in a different area than Dade County right now. And I've been for a couple years, but obviously mom and dad still live in Dade, so I still commute and whatever and see them and still, you know, chill out and stuff. And yeah, I occasionally still hear that, but you have to be in certain parts to really hear that. But here's the kicker. When you hear that, Adric, you'll be surprised that it's not just one person. You'll go into stores and like a whole department will be full of Latinos who like don't speak English. And it's not like they just got here yesterday either. Right? Not only do they not know, they don't care to know. They don't care to learn the language. That's fine and dandy, but that's gonna make your argument real hard when them ICE agents show up in front of your house. Yeah? Rosenberg, yeah, Rosenberg. Yeah, Rosenberg was saying that back with Mr. Z, remember I remember watching that segment when Rosenberg was speaking about Donald Trump, and he was like, yeah, you know, LA has their Donald Sterling, and he's essentially, he was calling him racist, but he's whatever. But we have our own Donald who's just as bad, if not worse, and he was talking about Donald Trump. Huh? Mr. C remembers that. So with that, like I said, this is my third time. Man, I'm proving better you right. He's not even here right now. So with that, we'll pause right here. Love, piece of chicken grease. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content, for the love of God. And Mr. Z out. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of y'all night. Oh, Mr. Z out. I don't know why I paused earlier. Yeah, y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content, other non-Manosphere content. You have a great rest of your night, and Mr. Z out. I don't know why Mr. Z paused early. I mean, press the mute button early. There we go. And we out.